On today's episode of the Gamer Girl podcast, Elizabeth discusses her top 10 songs from The Legend of Zelda. Hey everybody, so today's episode is going to be my top 10 Zelda songs. If you agree with this list, great. If you disagree, let me know what you think the top 10 Zelda songs should be. I really enjoy in the Legend of Zelda franchise how with every new installment in the series, you get a new selection of songs added. I feel that Koji Kondo and the other composers do a very good job composing the Zelda pieces. I really enjoy listening to them. Maybe on this list you feel one of the songs I list should be moved up. Maybe you feel it should be moved down. Maybe I totally missed one of your favorite Zelda songs. If any of that happens, feel free to let me know. Comment, do the stuff. So, without further ado, my number 10 is Midna's Lament. I'm going to let that play now for a little bit. So, one thing I really like about Midna's Lament is how I like how it sounds. I like how dramatic it is, which goes very well with when this plays. Midna's Lament, some people call it Midna's theme, but it plays right whenever you're running from seeing the light spirit Lunaru. And it plays when you're going from there to Hyrule Castle, because when Lunaru was awakened, I guess, Zant took advantage of that and almost killed Midna, and also turns Link back into a wolf. So you are a wolf, Link is a wolf, and you're running to Hyrule Castle to talk to Zelda, who can hopefully save Midna. And the music very well conveys that point, that Midna is on death's doorstep, about to die. And if you don't make it to Zelda in time, Midna's not gonna live. She's gonna die. It's a very well written piece, conveys the point very well. I very much enjoy the piece. Not the moment as much, but I very much enjoy the piece. So number 10 was Midna's Lament. Moving on, my number 9 is Song of Storms. I'm going to let that play now. So, one of my favorite things about Song of Storms is how energetic it is and how high in spirits it is. One thing I really like is how it has the two different melodies that combine to make the one song. I very much enjoy listening to Song of Storms. It can be a little confusing to play on the piano, which I play piano, if you didn't know that. So I very much enjoy playing Song of Storms on the piano. It's a fairly complicated piece, though. But I very much enjoy, like I said, the two melodies that come together to make the one song. Song of Storms is in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I'm not 100% sure if it's in any other installments in the franchise. If it is, let me know. Feel free to let me know. So number 9 was Song of Storms. Number 8 is Ocean's theme from Wind Waker. I very much enjoy how this piece goes, and I'm just going to let that go now. So, one of my favorite things about Ocean's theme, I've also played this on the piano. It's very fun to play it on the piano. Ocean's theme is very well written, and it does sound like something you would hear while you're sailing the high seas. Some of the pieces in The Legend of Zelda, it's kind of like, oh, just you as the player hears it. But if some of the songs, like Ocean's theme, for example, I feel like would actually be playing in Link's head or someone's head as they're sailing the Great Sea. I very much enjoy Ocean's theme. I enjoy hearing it. I enjoy playing it. It's a very well-written piece as well, which I'll probably end up saying about a lot of these songs, is that it's a very well-written piece. But Ocean's theme, I very much enjoy listening to it. I like the way it conveys the point of sailing the ocean. Similar to Midna's Lament, that conveys the point of Midna being on the brink of death. But Ocean's theme is very aquatic sounding. I very much enjoy it. So number 8 was Ocean's theme. Number 7 is Great Fairy Fountain. I'm going to let that play now. So Great Fairy Fountain is a piece I'm sure many are... Oh, no. Many Zelda fans are... Oh my goodness, I'm trying to think. Many Zelda fans, well, no. I can't think of the word. Are aware of. Because Great Fairy Fountain is in, I believe, every installment of the Zelda franchise. I'm sure there's one or two that don't have it. Again, let me know if I forgot that. Well, Great Fairy Fountain is in ones with a Great Fairy, clearly. Oh, it's not, Great Fairy Fountain's not in the original Legend of Zelda. I don't think. It's also not in The Adventure of Link, I'm pretty sure. I do know it's in A Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, etc. So anyway, Great Fairy Fountain, also a fun piece to play on the piano. It's fairly tricky though. I very much enjoy the sound of it though. It's a very pretty piece. It goes well with the Great Fairy. Now this one, I don't really think Link would actually be hearing well there. Maybe the Great Fairies have some sort of ancient speaker system. So it plays there, but it fits the setting very well. Great Fairy Fountain. So next is number 6. So number 7 was Great Fairy Fountain. My number 6 is Ballad of the Goddess. I really like this piece. Great piece. It's in Skyward Sword. I'm going to let that play now. So Ballad of the Goddess, one of my favorite things about it is it fits well with the orchestra, because in Skyward Sword, it was the first time they had an actual orchestra for recording the songs, and it wasn't created by electronic, digitally created instruments, and so they were able to make it sound very well. Another really cool thing about Ballad of the Goddess, which I'm also going to play for you guys, is Ballad of the Goddess Reversed. And after I play that, then I'm going to just talk about Ballad of the Goddess in general more. So if you're able to hear it, Zelda's Lullaby is actually playing, and it's not just the notes of Zelda's Lullaby. You can actually hear the full rhythm of Zelda's Lullaby playing in Ballad of the Goddess, which is a very cool detail that they added. I very much enjoy that little detail, how Ballad of the Goddess is the reverse of Zelda's Lullaby. Ballad of the Goddess is a very pretty piece altogether, but the fact that it's the reverse of Zelda's Lullaby is very cool, that they were able to reverse it and make it sound super cool. So number 6 was Ballad of the Goddess, and I'm going to go to the break now, and I'll see you all after the break. And we're back. So, continuing on. So, my number 6 was Ballad of the Goddess. Number 5 is Champion's Ballad from Breath of the Wild, so I'm going to let that play. So Champion's Ballad is one of my favorite pieces. I really enjoyed listening to it while I was playing the Champion's Ballad DLC for Breath of the Wild. It's a very well done piece. Probably one of the things that makes it better for me is Cass plays it. Cass is one of my favorite NPCs from Breath of the Wild. I really enjoy how he's a musician. So, number 5 is definitely Champion's Ballad for me. Like I said, I very much enjoyed listening to it while playing the DLC for Breath of the Wild. It's a very well-written piece. I very much enjoyed it. So, next, for my number 4, is the classic Zelda main theme. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, how could the Zelda main theme only be number 4? Well, you'll find out how it could only be number 4, at least for me. Maybe you think the Zelda main theme is number 1, but anyway, I'm gonna give that a listen now. So, the Zelda main theme, this is technically for the NES, the overworld theme. But it's in every single installment in the Zelda franchise. Somewhere it's hidden, but it's in every installment of the Zelda franchise. I very much enjoy it. It's a very well written piece, again, as I have said for many of these other ones. This version is a nice version because it kind of takes you back, I guess, to the days of the NES, but it's pretty cool what they were able to do with the technology they had back then and how they've been able to make music and video games as advanced as it is now. So, number 4 was the Zelda main theme. Now we're in my top 3. So these are pieces that I listen to almost non-stop. So, my number 3 is the Clock Town theme from Majora's Mask. So I'm going to let that play now. So Clock Town theme I very much enjoy it. It's a very well written piece. What's very interesting is it gets faster and faster as you go from day 1 to day 3. So the day 3 version I'm going to have now compared to the first day version. So notice how the third day version is much faster and more intense than the first day. Part of that is because the first day is kind of like, oh, the moon's up there. It's just coming a little close, but it won't hit. Third day, it's like, oh no, the moon's right there. It's totally going to crush us all. What are we going to do? So, that's craziness. Clocktown theme, though, I very much enjoy it. It's also, well, it's not the very first piece you hear when you play Majora's Mask, but I don't think. Maybe it is. I'll check that. So, Clocktown theme, number 3. Number 2. My number 2 is Gerudo Valley from Ocarina of Time. It was very hard to not put Gerudo Valley as number 1 for me. My number 1 and number 2, honestly, I was kind of like, but I ended up putting Gerudo Valley as number 2, so I'm going to let that play now. So, Gerudo Valley very well fits Gerudo Valley and it playing in Gerudo Valley. I very much enjoy, it's number 2, so of course I enjoy it, but I really like the overall rhythm of it. This Gerudo Valley is also a very fun piece to play on the piano. Also, I forgot to mention it, but the Zelda main theme I have played on piano too, so. Gerudo Valley, though, is one of my all-time favorite pieces. I very much enjoy how it's written. Very much enjoy the beat of it. So, number 2 is Gerudo Valley. Number 1, my main one. The big one everyone was waiting for to learn. So, my number 1 Zelda song of all time for right now is Cass's theme from Breath of the Wild. As I said with my number 5 being Champion's Ballad, I very much enjoy the character Cass, and Cass's theme is very well made. I love it. I probably should let you listen to it without my commentary now, though. So, I feel with Cass's theme, the accordion adds to the character of it. Is it an accordion? Yeah, an accordion. I think it's really cool how a bird's playing the accordion, but I really like Cass, and he's the first character other than Sheik/Zelda or Link to play an instrument. Well, I guess you could consider Guru, who plays the Song of Storms, and the Composer Brothers, but, plays multiple songs, other than Sheik/Zelda and Link. Well, I guess Ganondorf too. Oh, now I'm just ruining my point. Anyway, Cass isn't a main character as much, though. He's more of a side character. But I really like Cass's theme. It's a very well-written piece. Very much enjoy it. So my number 1 is Cass's theme. So, overall, from 10 to 1, number 10 was Midna's Lament. Number 9 was Song of Storms. Number 8 was Ocean's Theme. Number 7 was Great Fairy Fountain. Number 6 was Ballad of the Goddess. Number 5 was Champion's Ballad. Number 4 was the Zelda main theme. Number 3 was Clocktown theme. Number 2 was Gerudo Valley. And number 1 was Cass's theme. So, now that I've done my main top 10, I do have 5 honorable mentions. Starting with the reverse of Ballad of the Goddess, the normal version of it, though, Zelda's Lullaby, which I'll let that play now. So, Zelda's Lullaby, as I said before, is technically also the reverse of Ballad of the Goddess. Or you could argue that Ballad of the Goddess is the reverse of Zelda's Lullaby. Anyway, I very much enjoy Zelda's Lullaby. It's one of my favorite pieces. Well, not one of my favorite, because it was on my top 10, but I very much enjoy listening to it. My second honorable mention is Dragon Roost Island, which I'm going to let that play now. Dragon Roost Island is from The Wind Waker. It very much fits. It's a good combination of the ocean and aquatic theme of Wind Waker combined with the volcanic and birds and avian theme of Dragon Roost Island. So it's overall a good piece. My third honorable mention is a very good piece. It was hard to not have it on my top 10, but Spirit Tracks. So, Spirit Tracks, it's the title theme. Maybe, I can't remember if it's the title theme or just the overall theme. It very much fits the theme of traveling across train tracks and all that fun stuff. But I have actually never played Spirit Tracks. But I very much enjoyed listening to this song. It's a very good song. Definitely fits the train theme of Spirit Tracks. This is a piece I could see Link or Zelda singing while riding the train in Spirit Tracks. My number 4 is Lost Woods or Saria's Song. I'm going to let that play now. So Lost Woods is in Ocarina of Time. I'm not sure if it's in any other games of the Legend of Zelda franchise, but I very much enjoy Lost Woods. It's a good piece. When it's played as Saria's song, Darunia, he really likes this song too. The Goron in Ocarina of Time, if you haven't played Ocarina of Time, he goes totally jamming. You probably should look it up. It's very funny. He loves this song. Darunia loves Lost Woods. Well, Saria's song, technically. But, so, yeah, the whole scene when he's dancing to that's pretty funny. And my last honorable mention is Ballad of the Windfish from Link's Awakening. I really like it. It's a good piece. Gonna let that play now. So, Ballad of the Windfish is in Link's Awakening. Marin sings it. You play it on the 7 instruments that you have to collect, I believe. Maybe 8 instruments from 8 different dungeons, maybe 7 different dungeons. I can't exactly remember. But it's a good piece. Marin singing it is also really pretty. So, really good piece. So, without further ado, that's all of my top 10 Zelda songs. Again, they were number 10, Midna's Lament, number 9, Song of Storms, number 8, Ocean's Theme, number 7, Great Fairy Fountain, number 6, Ballad of the Goddess, number 5, Champion's Ballad, number 4, Zelda Main Theme, number 3, Clocktown Theme, number 2, Gerudo Valley, and number 1, Cass's Theme. Feel free to comment on YouTube, or Apple Podcasts, or leave a review. We'll leave a review on Apple Podcasts. If you go to the website, it's in the description for episodes and on everything. Just on YouTube, it's the Gamer Girl Podcast. If you click on the website, it'll take you on. You can find all of the links for all the different platforms the podcast is on. If you're having issues, for instance, finding it on YouTube or Apple or Spotify. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. Again, feel free to comment your personal top 10 Zelda songs or one song I didn't mention. Anyway, I hope you all have a lovely day. Bye!